controversy. Because we've got a lot to talk about.
We do.
Have my whistle wet.
I know that's right. Listen, we are having a very mature conversation tonight. So, minors in the room, tell me, we want you to catch every word. Because tonight we're talking about the evolution of nasty.
That's right, nasty.
Nasty.
Nasty girl.
So what's the difference between?
Words were kind of designed to pigeonhole people into certain things. I think the order use of the word nasty and freaky was the same way, and I mean it was kind of something that who don't do no freaky stuff.
Back in the day,
Oh, that's
our
nasty.
parents' day.
I mean freaky was the first thing that I remember my mother specifically saying, that's freaky, that's nasty, so
And
yeah.
to reconnect with the red button.
Second little tape play here.
So it ended it? We haven't had technical difficulties in a long time, so have patience, folks. Please have patience.
Okay, get us back up, but I'll get us back up on Facebook. But because
I don't want the Facebook people to miss it. So hang on, YouTube, because we do have this conversation about the evolution of nasty. The question was the difference between nasty and freaky. So just hold on to that. Un momento, por favor.
You think about it. It's a good question now. Dangerous. Are you gonna sing for the people?
I am. That song, well, really what I was playing was Adina Howard when I was driving over there.
Oh.
Freaking in the morning, evening, just like me, I'm that type of girl. I need a freaking secret. Everybody's saying,
Other words. But it was a cold beat.
yeah, I don't know who did produce that. But have you
I don't know. Trivia question. Who produced Adina Howard's?
somebody change it like Teddy Riley. I want to put that on here.
Yeah, you said I wouldn't know.
We are having some technical difficulties on Facebook, for sure. It's
It was very rare for us.
Yeah.
We haven't had technical
pull it
difficulties
down, babe.
in a long time.
I'll do it because you can't see it. Oh, you almost got my toes. Well, they want me to be literally walking on the balls of my feet, no toes.
Too much. Pull it toward you, Gary, so that you won't be out of frame. Okay.
Okay, so we're back, and we're talking about the difference between nasty and freaky.
Yes, we're talking about the evolution of nasty. But my question was, what's the difference between nasty sex and freaky sex?
Freaky sex in my world was always something, I always looked at it as like, that was something that was an outlier. I mean, even to this day, there's a time where I want to have nasty sex, but I'm always traumatized by the word freaky because that was like,
Is that negative?
that was outside of what, anything, you can have nasty sex, but freaky sex, you're a freak, he's freaky, she's freaky, he's freaky. That's it wasn't, we had to evolve to get to the point where people even claim to be a freak.
And I felt
You're
just
defining
the
a
opposite.
word with the word. I'm trying to like, give me some examples. Like, okay, let's say, 6'9". Is that nasty or freaky?
That's normal.
That's normal. I agree. But back in our parents' days,
That was
you
probably,
don't put your body parts in.
that was probably nasty, borderline freaky.
Yes. Okay, so how about urination?
That's nasty.
That's just
That's
nasty.
nasty.
Yeah.
So a thumb in someone's ass.
It's
A
between
preference.
the parties. Yeah.
Right.
As what?
It's between the parties.
Is it nasty or freaky?
Probably freaky.
After you put your thumb in someone's ass, then you suck your thumb.
Not nasty.
That's nasty.
Right.
So that's uninhibited, raw, just.
I want to go back to something that he did say. He said that the word freaky used to like traumatize him. And for me, I feel like the word nasty was traumatizing to me.
Mhm.
Freaky to me in my mind, even back in the day, was like something, it was like a level of sex. It was like an elevated level of sex that you had when you were with someone that you were in love with and you felt free to be freaky. But to be nasty was something that was traumatizing. Like that word right there, like, oh, nasty, it just makes you feel like, oh, I'm dirty. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's funny because for a man, it's different. Facebookers, I'm sorry, we are having a lot of trouble with Facebook, so it's going in and out. You all can always head over to YouTube.
That's an option.
That is an option if you're
Go
having
ahead.
problems. But yeah, so just looking at the way I look at it from a woman's perspective and how you looked at it from a younger man's perspective, how we view those two words.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of that has to do, with my mom. My mom always tried to put up artificial barriers. So she used words to do it. And like, oh my God, that was freaky.
Right.
And that, it worked until it didn't. It traumatized me. And then, there was a part of me where I was like, I don't know, man, you done put a lot of things over there. You're not leaving me much here. This is different. So, I do want to say this about nasty or freaky. There is nothing nasty or freaky between two people that are willing to do it. And I think that we have, used those words personally and, as a collective to pigeonhole people and to put them in boxes without having an open conversation about, what it is. If something feels good to you, do it. If you got somebody that's willing to do it, it's not against the law or they won't press charges, do it.
And they're not a child.
Yeah.
Like you said.
They're your age or older.
So I agree with a lot of that. If you have somebody that's willing and wanting to do what you want to do, then, or wanting to experiment, then that's great. And I grew up very, I would say probably closed-minded because you and I have the same background with private school. So you just feel like, oh no, keep cookie to yourself. But then when you are, then when I was married, then you feel like, okay, this is my dick, only my dick. Really wasn't the case, but when you, but when you feel like that this is your person and you just feel very uninhibited, you would feel like, okay,
Free.
And free
and safe.
And that's how you should feel when you're married. That makes it all the better. You feel very uninhibited. Every nasty talk, everything is on the table. So, and I think if you haven't experienced that level of nastiness, freakiness, because I really don't know if there is a difference between nasty sex, freaky sex. I don't know if there's a difference. I think it's just two different words that describe the same types of actions.
I disagree.
Yeah, well,
I can tell you why I disagree with you.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's really a difference. I mean, if you want to put your thumb in somebody's ass and lick it, then do your thing. I'm not judging for anybody who has done that, but and I know someone who likes being urinated on. I know a person that I went to school with who that's her thing. I'm not saying that that's nasty or freaky. I'm just like, I don't know.
I mean, I think a lot of times when we use words like that in the past, or when words were even used on us like that in the past, it did a lot of things. Like one of the things that I see now, like oral sex is just out there.
Yeah.
But coming up, it was always taught that oh, that's a bad thing. Don't do that. That's horrible. That's nasty and freaky all at the same time.
And I went to a predominantly white school. So the difference between a lot of my friends was that they looked at oral sex very much so like
a kiss,
like Clinton.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton did. Like it was just a kiss,
Mhm.
a kiss on a body part, and we looked at it like, you gonna put that thing? What you want me to do? What with my mouth? And that was something that you 1000% had to be in love to do. This was your man, like you said. You ain't sharing nothing with nobody, right? And it was something that happened later on. It wasn't like an immediate thing. So while the my white girlfriends, they weren't having sex. They were just having oral sex because they were like, we can't have no sex, so that's something we wait for.
Mhm.
And then my black friends, they were like, well, that's my man, that's my boyfriend, we can have sex, but we ain't doing no oral stuff. It was just a very different mindset about those two different things. For me, I understand why you would think that and feel that, nasty and what was that other word? Freaky were synonymous at this point. But recently, over the past few years, you and I have come across something that I do find to be nasty, and it is about sex. So I think the term was potty mouth. I think that's what they called the nickname for it, potty mouth. It was the people who have sex
Mhm.
um, over in the UAE for money, for millions of dollars, but they have to literally eat shit. And it's not a little, and unbeknownst to them, I don't know if they thought they were just going to have a serving, but that's not what it is. This is your, you don't have any food, and this is what they make you do for them. It's all about degrading the woman, which is apparently something that I feel might be cultural over there. Yeah, these people end up sick and with diseases for money. Obviously, this is what they did it for. But do I find that to be freaky? No, I find that to be nasty. So I do feel like there's a difference. There's a level of.
I find that to be nasty and dangerous and suicidal if you're eating feces.
I want to go back to what you said earlier about.
Do I need to tap the thing?
No, it's because when you tap it, it shuts it down. It's gonna pop back.
Reconnect. Mm-hmm.
There we are. So you talked about the difference between black women and white women, and I'll say this. I mean, black women are just, to me, getting to the point where they're decent at giving head.
Really?
And white girls, they be monsters. And I think it's that, I think it traces back from an evolutionary standpoint to, that, like you said, it was like, head was just out of the question.
Right.
And I mean, a lot of things, we know that the world has progressed. A lot of people are doing a lot of different things, like a threesome was something that you had to, man, wow, you were like one in a million. Now you like everybody. And the whole oral sex piece of it, you used to have game to, as a man, to have oral sex performed on you. And now you just gotta be breathing. And I'm not knocking the hustle, I'm a beneficiary in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think oral sex is the norm. I mean,
but there is a qualitative difference between the races. I promise you.
Well, I'll say this as a person who I'm not saying I'm putting a big statement out there, but I know a lot of non-black women who feel like, well, and when we were growing up, anal sex was safer. I can't get pregnant off of this.
Yeah.
So, and they were vaginally, they were virgins.
Mm-hmm.
But anally, it was on and popping.
You knew a lot of who now?
Non-black.
Non-black women. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It's I've run across that where they were like, hey, we don't want any babies, but you can go as deep as you can go. You can do what you do. We can make it happen.
Right.
But we're not doing no vaginal sex at all.
Right. Yeah, because they didn't. And I think it was just because they didn't want to get pregnant.
I think that was the reason why.
It was just that was the reasoning.
But I didn't know a lot of people who were
doing
anal sex.
You probably did it.
Well, not that they were talking
Yeah,
about it.
anyway.
Right.
That's another thing, because it's not like any of this stuff was discovered. It was Christopher Columbus. They were there when he got there. It was happening. It was not. But a lot of people didn't talk about it. And one of the things about social media, is that people are much more open. People are much, people will say and do anything, and people are just more free in all of the things that they do now in my world.
So let me just say this. I'm 1000% on board with people feeling like, you know what, let's just be free, let's do this thing. But there is a part of some people that makes them, even though they may want to let that freak out,
Mm-hmm.
even though they really care enough about this person to let that freak out, in the back of your mind, what if it doesn't work out? If it's not your husband, right?
Right?
What if it doesn't work out?
Exactly.
And I let that freak out.
Exactly.
And now you've got this part of me that I shouldn't have given you because it didn't work
Right.
out. This is
Right.
somebody you want your forever person to be,
But
to do that. And I'm just saying that maybe that's the prude in me.
No, I think that's not prudish. That's reasonable. I know you're about to burst. Don't forget what you're going to say. But I think that's reasonable.
Flapping there.
Because you can be like strongly attracted to somebody,
Yeah.
but really, if I could with you, because you're very.
Right.
However, you might talk too much. You might, and then what if we're work, and then you send
Exactly.
off to Jackie, Joni, and Lisa, and I'm sitting here like, now, well, I just gave you all of this, and now I'm spilling away.
100%.
Yeah. So that's how. So yeah. Go ahead. Don't burst.
I'm not gonna burst. But first of all, to predicate one thing on the other, I mean, sex is something that you should enjoy. So if you and then there's an internal freak in every woman. If a man has not brought that out, then shame on him. And and I'm sorry for that woman.
And how you bring that up?
You have to figure out what motivates that person
Okay.
to explore those things with you. But it exists in everybody. It's just that we have balls and detours and other things to things and not share those things. But to predicate it on the success of the relationship, if somebody talks, they're gonna talk. And I mean, in reality, anybody that's with me more than 2 times, the assumption is that I slept with them. Anybody that knows me,
Yeah, there's people about that.
don't you dare, don't you dare, don't you dare. Thank you for that. Thank you. I know it took a lot of restraint. We're very proud of you. So, but if still like I love it. Thank you.
I'm just going to say it. When we first got the podcast together, we had taken professional pictures, and
Really great pictures,
the three
too.
of us. You see it on our Facebook cover page, Conversations Over Her. It was just black. We were just different poses, and people, stupid people, were asking
him.
Harry if we were in a throuple, if we were all getting married, if this is an engagement
Right.
picture. If that's not the dumbest thing.
And it was more than like 2 people. So I was like, what? They were
I
joking.
would never, I would
didn't-
never think that.
I want to be honest with you. I didn't immediately deny it.
Sat back, waited for a little while.
I never lied. I never lied. I was like, well, what would you do? So,
Incestuous.
Right.
getting back on topic.
I asked you what you would do to motivate, to bring the freak out.
You have to each person is different. You figure out what it is to get that out. You definitely, and you should want regular. I mean,
If you're gonna talk, people are just gonna talk.
people are gonna talk.
Is where you left
Yeah,
off.
people are gonna talk. They're gonna say what they're gonna say.
See, but
So the assumption is there,
That's
whether they do or whether they don't. I'm not advocating talking, but the assumption is there. I mean, what do we saying?
Because intimacy is intimate. It's not for everyone. If that's
But
the
the
case, then
assumption
we
is
should
that you
all
did
just
it-
do it on Reels
But
and just post it. No.
but the assumption is that you did it.
Did you say we should just do it on Reels?
Yes. I mean, if it's just like, no, no.
The assumption is there whether you did it or not.
Not whether you did it. Okay, yeah. If we're dating and we've been together and like you said, maybe 2 or 3 dates, that's the assumption. But we're talking about the evolution of nasty. We're talking about letting that freak out. Everybody doesn't need to know or
Not
see
everybody.
or
That's an
assume
absolute. But
that you let that freak out. I
but-
disagree.
I'm not saying everyone, but a lot. You know, most. But I mean, obviously there's some people that don't get to go to the $200 prize round. But I'm not saying I don't think that you should hold that it should be held back to that level. If you like somebody, you wouldn't do it. The assumption is that you did it anyway.
It's a different.
That's true.
Mhm.
That's true. That's why if I go out on dates, I won't go like in the city because I don't want people to be like, oh, she's dating him. Oh, now she's dating him. And I'm not having sex with anyone. But the assumption, if they see two nice looking people out, they fucking.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's true.
But it's a whole
Has
nother
to be.
thing if they know the truth. And another
But
thing if they're
people
just
won't.
assuming. Exactly. But he's saying just go ahead and do it. People think you're gonna do it
Uh,
anyway. No, but you would know.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying don't hide from the stigma of people thinking that you did, because no matter what you do to try to overcome that, they're going to think that you did anyway.
No, but that's not a reason to do it.
Yeah, that's not
But
right.
it's not a reason to not do it either.
Yes.
Yes, it is, Gary.
Your man logic is so silly
Right.
that I'm trying not to even laugh in your face.
This land of delusion that he's in.
What?
I'm just like, what?
Ninja! Yes,
I mean,
it is.
If there's something that you enjoy, and
That's like telling your woman is like, I think you're having an affair with Jackie. You're like, well, you keep accusing them. It's gonna go fuck her. I might as well
I may as well just do it.
exactly my point.
That's all you.
Gary.
We've had this conversation before. I'm telling you that you're not gonna kill something that I did not do.
So then you just gonna.
Plus, if you're saying it and
I
you're
just gonna
staying,
do it.
if you're accusing me of
Maybe
cheating,
Jackie doesn't want to have sex with you.
but I'm not saying it had to be Jackie, but it could be anybody at that point. Because once you open up the door, if you're arguing with me about cheating, and you're not leaving, you're saying it's okay. You just want to argue.
And now I agree with that part too.
So if you're that concerned about it, where you need to bring it to my attention, you're just telling me either A, don't get caught, B, you're not saying don't do it or I'm gonna leave. You're saying
Well,
don't let
maybe
me
that's
catch
what
you.
they're saying.
But you
maybe.
ain't left.
But
You
you
want
did it.
proof.
Right. She doesn't know if you did it.
Yeah.
But if you suspect, I probably did. I mean, because I'm not going to.
Look.
I'm not fighting that battle. I'm not. You know, I'm not fighting.
So
that
she
battle.
is to assume that you are Mr. Nasty with everybody. Is that the?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter,
matters.
Gary.
It matters.
Let me
It
explain something
matters
to you.
with her.
Let me explain something to you.
Mhm.
I had a conversation after we had our show on can a man get past his woman cheating?
Mhm.
And the conversation went like this. No, was the answer. And the reason why is because, just like we're talking about the evolution of nasty, a man is going to automatically assume it wasn't just he stuck the out. He's imagining she gave him some head, she got down all the things.
And she should have.
No, but listen. No. That is not what
There's
one
not
should
an
be doing
acceptable
with
level of
everybody,
cheating.
right?
You know, it was like just a little bit. It was for 2 seconds or less. No, I mean, you know the stuff that she did with you.
He only licked with the right side of my body.
But again, once you remove the nasty part of it, it's level. So if they did it, it doesn't matter if it was 2 minutes or an hour. It was never going to be short enough, and it was always too long. So to even get into it on that level, you're defeating yourself.
No, you don't even have to get into it. That was the whole thing. It didn't matter. The man is going to automatically feel like it's a violation, simply because,
Women feel like that too.
huh?
Women feel like that too.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah,
But a man is over it. A woman might give you another chance for whatever reason.
nobody ever gets over anything. We get better at dealing with it. Initially, a man is gonna be like, oh, you know, blah 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 blah.
The men I know ain't gonna even give you that chance.
Like, that's true.
That's
I know a few fellas, and they process it, and they're not putting that story out there. You know, and we all are gonna tell our greatest stories. We gonna post our best stuff to post.
Then I know, like, you for the streets. Get your ass back out there.
No, I mean, you know, people that I know, you know, that it's been both ways. There's some people that's like, no, I can't get over it. And then it's, you know, some of my guys, you know, we've had conversations, and it's like, man, she got me, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he did something 5 times first.
So we.
No, see, hold a minute, I'm not always wrong in this. I mean, this is, there are people in this world that are just cheaters. They could have
That's true.
They could just have the best of everything. It couldn't get any better. Everybody loved them. Mama loved them.
But ain't
The
nothing
kids
ever
love them.
enough.
But it's that one person, and I'm saying it's not even gender specific. It's that one person that they just can't, you know, they can't say no.
Those are the people I say that fear of missing out. They always think there's something better out there. They always have to, well, you know, I love this person, but let me go over here.
But again, to the topic, when we give that word nasty more power than it actually has, that's when we have justifications of, you know, well, it only happened one time. But that's the dumbest stuff on earth.
Yeah, whenever I hear that.
I don't know. I also think
you
there's
know,
another
I hate
level
to
of
use the word
nasty.
dumb and or stupid.
I know, right?
What if you had sex with somebody, you know, and then you turned around and had sex with somebody else right after them? Like, you went home. To me, that's nasty.
Yeah.
If you let's say you're cheating,
Mm-hmm.
and then you like, you know what, I'm still kind of horny. Let me go home and hit my wife. You know what I mean? No, that shit is nasty.
There is an unofficial handbook of, you know, how to cheat and how not to cheat. And there are rules. And, you know, generally, you know, under the partner agreement, you should take a shower, bath, and or both between persons.
All I'm saying is,
They're going to be
freaky,
looking for a new
freaky
male
and
co-host
nasty,
next week.
I don't think are
Send
synonymous for
resumes
reasons like that.
to-
Freaky and nasty have some true delineation.
I do believe that, and I do believe that, but I think also, you know, in keeping with the show, it has evolved. You know, what we thought of as freaky and nasty,
I totally agree.
and
1000%.
we don't currently do that. I think that, you know, what I said earlier, that those words were used to kind of pigeonhole us and to police us a lot, at least me in my youth.
I think more about pleasing your partner is more important right now than it ever was.
And yourself.
And yourself, absolutely.
So I was talking to a really good male friend, and we were single, dating, just, you know, conversations over her conversation. And he said sometimes he doesn't like aggressive women, but some aggressive women will come to him and whisper in his ear, "What you doing tonight after, you know, the party or whatever? I want to come fuck you tonight. I want to come suck your dick tonight." Now, is that freaky? Is that?
That's like Wednesday. I mean, that's normal.
Okay. Is that okay?
I've never had anybody come and whisper in my ear that.
Because you might press charges or beat them down first. I mean, if
What?
didn't I tell you not to? No, but I mean, I've definitely been propositioned by women, and it's been exciting.
Now, is that a woman, this person well? Is that freaky? Is that nasty? Is that aggressive?
It's
How would you
provocative.
categorize it? It's provocative? Okay.
Because I mean, in the situations that it has happened to me, it's somebody that I had context with. It wasn't somebody that saw me from across the bar and was like,
What if it wasn't though? What if it was no context?
I can't speak to what hasn't happened.
Well, I'm just saying, if it happened tonight, how would you take it?
I
Bold.
I got a woman.
Wait, but
I
finish
know,
your
but-
thought, though. Finish your thought.
I forgot what I was talking about. But you know,
Provocative.
provocative. It was provocative. I mean, it was people that I had contacts with. You know, not necessarily.
So you knew them.
I knew them or them, and it was, you know, it was kind of cool.
Women nowadays, as we know, shoot their shot way harder than they used to. So
They empty the
when
clip.
you said that's like Wednesday, absolutely. And they come in the chamber already to the bar. Who am I shooting down tonight? So
The most interesting one though is when you've had a friend for a lot of years, and then that friend is like, you know, I've always thought maybe, and you're like, no. So that's the one that's crazy. That's the one that you feel you conflicted about. You're like,
I've had that happen, and I didn't like it.
yeah, it's not. You know, it made me feel uncomfortable because I truly had never looked at a person in that way, and they were a pretty person, a beautiful person, but I was like. And then I felt like, am I wrong? Because I feel like I have to like you first. You know, that's like that's some recess stuff. No. I pass you to know. You don't pass me to know. I felt conflicted about it, but you know, and I didn't actually do it in that situation. But that one was crazy for me.
yeah, I don't like when people like your friends and then they try and flip to this like I like you thing. That
Yeah, I don't like that.
I feel like you just messed up the friendship.
Yep.
Now I don't like you that way, and I don't like you this way. So oh well.
Yep, I agree.
But getting back to nasty and freaky, I definitely can say that it has changed over time.
Yeah.
And the thing that I've been stressing all night is that, you know, in my situation, I felt like those things were used to kind of, you know, just kind of pigeonhole us into behavior patterns or certain things not to do or to do. And now it's less stuff, way less stuff that falls under the nasty or the freaky spectrum for me.
Yeah, I mean, again, I do feel like there's a difference between nasty and freaky, but I absolutely feel like freaky is, you know, freaky is freedom. And if you are,
It's freedom.
yeah, it's just a level of take me, I'm yours, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, all the inhibitions and all that stuff out the window. And, you know, at almost 60 years old, you should get to that point, right? You shouldn't die wondering, I guess. Go ahead. Try it out. But for me, it's got to be somebody that you trust, you know, and that you feel safe with. It should be, you know.
And so that's what I'm asking. That's what I was asking earlier. You said the guy has to bring it out in her. Are you bringing it out just so that you can get the nasty demon? And
It's not.
Is it like trickery?
It's not a badge of honor or anything or a notch on the belt for me. It's that I enjoy sex at that level. So I mean, with a lot of those things. So I'm trying to get you to enjoy it to the level that I do.
Okay.
Would you be offended if your name was associated with the word freaky? I know you were traumatized by the word before in your past, but would you be? You wouldn't be offended at all.
No, because I mean I'm acutely aware that again it's a relative term, and the same person that will be bandying that rumor about or spreading that lie and or truth is the same person that I feel like I'm confident I could motivate them to do the exact same stuff. So I'm not going to give that word that power over me. I know what I like, and I know that some people are going to like what I like, and some people are not. And anybody that's spreading rumors, I mean, talk to the source. I'm available. You got my number. Holla at me.
Would, just out of curiosity, how would you feel if somebody who you were interested in, their name was associated with being freaky?
I mean, you
asking.
hope not, but at the same time, we're not meeting virgins at this stage of the game.
Agreed.
Everybody's got a story.
Agreed.
Everybody's got a backstory, and obviously, you don't want to just deal with the harlot that everybody.
That's what I think you're saying, right? Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, what are reasonable numbers? You know, what is everybody? You know, people will tell you all the time. I mean, especially European women, they'll tell you that college was just this thing where you could do just about anything.
Yeah. Experimenting with everything.
Yes.
Again, but you always say, you know, protective custody, people that you claim, people that you don't claim. You know what I mean? So if it's somebody who claimed the woman, this was a relationship that she was in, and you heard that, you know, Freaky was associated with her name, that's a whole different story than, you know, she was at a bar and she banged some dude in the bathroom and Freaky was associated with her name. That's a little bit, to me, it's different. I would look at it
It's hard
from a man, even from a man's perspective. If I heard that Gary is, you know, taking people in the hall closet, strangers, versus Gary in a relationship, you know what I mean? That, to me, it's different.
I mean, I'm obviously I don't want the worst case scenario. I'm not probably equipped or prepared to deal with that. But to realize and to really honestly say it and say that, hey, a person has a background, because I certainly do.
Mm.
So I can't pass that judgment on somebody. You know, obviously worst case scenario, but you know, if you've seen a few things and done a few things, and you know, you can tell me, you know, just a few things and I know all I need to know. You know, I went to Dubai 11 times between 93 and 95. Okay.
Right. Right.
Okay. Well, that was 7, 8, 9 guys. You know, so I mean, I get it. I understand. I know. But you know, how long ago did something happen? Who are you now? How do you make me feel? Those can be mitigating factors. Some things are unmitigatable. I don't know if that's a word or not.
It is tonight.
But some things, you know, it's a bridge too far.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be.
I agree with that.
I don't want to be a prude in how I approach it, and I don't want to be a prude in how I respond to it.
Yeah. That's fair. That's a dope. That's fair. It's mature.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, at 60, you know, it's gonna be some freaky stories in most
Absolutely.
cases
Yeah.
associated with everybody, whether they're true or not.
Yeah, I would hope that people aren't making up and fabricating freaky stories about people at this age. 'Cause
Girl.
that, to me, that's still, you know,
That's juvenile. I agree.
but
But
still
it's
might get chopped in the throat for lying. I ain't getting
but
that.
the reality is it is.
There's so much immaturity out here. That's why I said, girl, so much immaturity and silliness out here.
And our lives are just that, our lives. But it's somebody that's somewhere that every single detail they want to know. They want to be the first to know. They want to be the first to post it. They want all of these different things. So I'm not giving energy to that. I'm not in that space.
Yeah.
And I can't control them, obviously. So
Well,
What do you guys think?
yeah. And I'm gonna be hanging out with you all on August 22nd. Y'all doing anything?
actually, I have something planned that day. Do you have something planned?
I do have something planned.
It's our in-person.
Ah, yes.
We're back.
Yes,
So mark
yes.
your calendars, August 22nd, Conversations Overheard in person, and we are bringing the hot, juicy, fiery topics.
And our last one, people were so open and so honest.
Loved it.
And the energy that we got from it. I mean, it was almost unfair.
Yeah.
Because we took so much away from that.
Man,
So
if you think this was a fiery topic.
if you're in Chicago or in Chicagoland on August 22nd, which is a Saturday, and 3 to 7 p.m., 3 to 8
Join
p.m.,
3 to 8.
join us. 3 to 7, join us.
Looking forward to it.
We will give you the details on the address. Well, actually, look on social media. We should have that posted pretty soon.
On all of our pages, yeah.
We're going to be inundating your pages. I learned that word today. We're going to be inundating your pages with posts about our in-person.
You guys, let us know what you think about the evolution of nasty. The difference between evolution of nasty and the evolution of freaky. Have you evolved? We want to know. Let's talk about it.
Do you need some help evolving?
He can't help you.
This one over here.
It can't help it.
All right. Thank you for tuning in.
Appreciate you guys.
Watch our pages. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Conversations Overheard. All right. We'll see you next week, I think it is.
Night.
Good night.